Hi, I'm Keith and welcome to my art studio. I've been on an alligator kick recently, done like 3 of these. This one's a little bit different than the rest of them. I have 406 followers right now on YouTube. I know there's more people out there who like my kind of stuff than 406. There's probably 400,000 people who'd like to see this, but YouTube sends my stuff to the weirdest places. And I know this because YouTube shows me. And some of the places they send my videos to is just weird and wrong. I don't know how to reach my core audience with this stuff. If I could reach my audience, I would grow so fast, but I don't know how to do it. But anyway, I'm not going to complain anymore. This video is me making this thing. And if you follow my page, you know I have a video following this little rant. It's going to come up pretty quick. That shows exactly how I did this guy. He has pencil. 2B, 4B, 6B, 8B pencils. He has watercolor, he has ink wash, and he is beautiful. He's an awesome alligator. Sci-fi, fantasy alligator. All I do on my page is sci-fi fantasy stuff. I don't do anything mainstream. It doesn't interest me. I just love this kind of stuff. So, if you're interested in following me, please subscribe. I would appreciate it if you did. And right now, I'm going to show you this demonstration. I have done many, and I mean many videos on this channel, over 400 so far. It's like 411. And voiceovers are always a challenge, but I do enjoy doing them. On this particular video, I'm doing another alligator. This is probably my 3rd one I've done so far. Each one I try to make a little bit different than the last one. I enjoy alligators because I think the texture of their skin and the look of the teeth and their jowls is just, it's mesmerizing. I don't know what the right word is, but it looks really cool. So I enjoy doing the alligators and lizards and dinosaurs and whatnot. So with this one, right there you can see I'm adding another eyeball. I change up my pictures all the time. I try to make them my own. I never just steal a picture off the web and just do it as is. If I'm not changing it up, that I don't feel like I'm doing my job as an artist. So my pencil work, I think, is pretty good. I'm not trying to brag on myself. I'm really not. But I've done enough pencil work over my lifetime to know that I'm pretty confident in how I do it. My thicks, my thins, my darks, my lights, all that stuff. Right now I think I'm using a 6B pencil, which is a pretty soft lead. I also use 2B pencils, which is what you get in school. It's usually a yellow pencil they give you or you buy at the store. 2B is pretty good pencil, pretty good. But I like the 6Bs and the 8Bs because it gives me a thicker outline. It kind of mimics the look of ink. And so I don't have to, I use a lot of ink in this picture. You'll see it. I use lots and lots of ink. But I prefer to use the pencil for my outline edges. Right now, I'm putting in a series of ovals. Those ovals is what makes my skin texture for this alligator. If you look at an alligator, and I've downloaded lots of pictures and looked at their skin because I want to mimic it in my pictures. It's pretty close. You know, they have square patterns, rectangle patterns, and some oval patterns. It depends on what part of the alligator it's on. Usually on the top part, it's more of an oval pattern. On the neck, it's more of a square rectangle pattern. So I'm trying to mimic that. As an artist, I try to stay true to my subject, but I also try to make it my own. I'm not trying to make my picture look photorealistic. I don't think photorealistic pictures are, and I'm going to give some crap for this, but I don't think photorealistic art is actually art. I think it's a good show of skill. And I think lots of people are impressed by artists' skill levels. And photorealism shows a lot of skill. But I think a true artist, and this is my opinion, a true artist will take a subject and make it their own. They'll change it, and they'll find a way to make it fit something that they're doing, a narrative. I don't know. This picture here, this alligator, obviously, if you looked at an alligator, his neck does not bend that direction. It would probably snap him and probably break his neck if he actually did that. But I wanted it to look like it was an alien. That was my intention. I wanted to make an alien out of an alligator. I also wanted to use a rhinoceros, and I kind of used the horn on his snout as a rhinoceros, but that's all I really could do. I love the imagery of the alligator. I love the lizards. I love the dinosaurs, and I love the monsters. If you follow my page, I hope you do, and please subscribe, Please subscribe. I need lots and lots and lots of more subscribers. You'll notice I do lots of reptiles. I do lots of dinosaurs. I do lots of monsters. It's my thing. I could do anything I wanted to if I really put my mind to it, but I have to do what's fun for me. And this is fun. And I would not have any fun doing landscapes, pictures of chickens and dogs and kittens and still lifes. It's just not interesting to me. When I was in college doing this, sure, the teacher would throw up a still life at the front of the room, and us students would try to draw it. And, that's great for teaching basic drawing skills. I mean, I can remember back when I was in high school, I went to the University of Nebraska at Lincoln for All-State. That's a deal where your parents pay $200 and you spend 2 weeks at the university. And it was a fun time, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And I remember during art class that the teacher one time asked us to put our shoe up onto our desk and draw a picture of it. And, it sounds pretty basic, but it taught you hand-eye coordination and how to, render your image from life and not from your brain. Because sometimes if you just use your mind, your pictures turn out really skewed looking. So doing a picture of your shoe sounds kind of mundane, but it was a really good teaching exercise. And then, to up the stakes, they would say, on the next round, don't look at your paper and draw it just from looking at your image. Well, I tell you, when I eventually looked down, what I had was a big old mess. It was a mess. But I understood what they were doing. They're trying to get you to understand what it takes to get your eye and your hand coordinated so you could draw what you see. But that was a great deal. I think most people who draw from their imagination suffer from the fact that their images don't look remotely real. That's why I always use some sort of a subject reference for my images. I do a lot of fantasy stuff, but I try to use some sort of reference image. Right now, on this image, I'm using some thinned down paint. I basically took acrylics and turned it into watercolor, and I'm going over my pencil because I wanted the pencil work to shine through. I also wanted the ink wash to shine through because it gives you a good sense of your shading. The ink wash, the thinned down acrylics, or basically watercolor, is just to kind of stain the picture. And I think it's a good way. There's a term, grisaille painting. It's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, where you do your blacks, grays ahead of time. And I did that with my ink wash, and we passed that part already. And then I'm just basically putting a thin coat of color over the top of it, and I'm colorizing all that, and all the lights and darks come through the paint, and it saves you a step. And I love the way this looks. So right now I'm putting in, I made up some sort of a green color from yellow and blue. I made up some sort of a orangish color from red and yellow. And they look really good together. They're not really overly bearing. They're just kind of there. I didn't want to overdo it because I wanted all the values is your darks and lights, to come through in the actual image. And it did. And I'm really happy with the way this turned out. Now, right now, I have a white pencil in my hand, and I'm doing highlights with a white pencil. And I just recently got into whites because I wanted to try something different. I've been an artist for forever, and I want to expand my horizons and do something different, so I got this white pencil. Now I'm using white paint. I bought some airbrush paint in a bottle, and I could have just thinned down some acrylics, the same thing. I'm using a brush to add even more highlights. I try not to overdo the whites, because if you do that, it kind of makes your picture look too white, too bright, and it distracts from it. You want to have some darks, you want to have some contrast. But I added the whites to really stand out the eyes, some of the interior pictures, not pictures, but the graphics of it. Now I'm putting in some hair. And I know alligators don't have hair, but my alligator in my fantasy world does have hair. It may not be hair, maybe it's just some sort of a spiky stuff with little balls on it. I think it adds to the composition. I think it looks really, really super cool. And I've been using this for a while, and I didn't need to quit because I'm overdoing it, but I do like the way it looks for right now. So my little alligator / crocodile has a little bit of hair, and now I'm going with a marker pen around the outer side edges to thicken it up because it gives it kind of a comic book look. I was not going to go this far. I actually intended to back off and stop before this, but I think it actually looks pretty good with that magic marker thick outlines. And I have no problem using marker pens, because if you go to your normal art supply store nowadays, they have a whole aisle just chock full of marker pens. I think marker pens is a thing, and probably has been a thing for a long time. I just haven't used it myself, but I do enjoy this. I'll also use the ink out of the bottle with a brush to do the same thing sometimes. But this was actually pretty easy. It allowed me just to use my drawing skills to outline it. Now, please subscribe. If you like this, I'd love to have you as a subscriber so you can see what else I do, and I would appreciate it because this stuff is fun to do, and I do enjoy it. I'm adding a little bit more outlines, getting all my, making sure the picture's really, really super cool, adding some highlights in the hair. I think I'm using some white paint right there, and putting the finishing touches on my picture. So once again, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it, and thank you for showing up to Keith Trim Art.